Hey guys, Darden.com, and of course the House of Biceps. I'm here at the House of Biceps answering your questions. All right guys, I have a client named Craig who's having some knee problems, and we're trying to troubleshoot some issues here. Now there could be a million different reasons why he has knee problems. He is 2 meters tall. That's 6 foot and 6 freedom inches. The guy's a large guy. The guy wears these flat-soled shoes that provide no support whatsoever all the time instead of something nice and spongy to walk on. He also demands to do overhead press and strongman events in those same shoes. He has a history of knee problems. There could easily be some kind of muscular imbalance, or his knee could just be totally screwed up and filled with the arthritis. Guys, the truth is, when it comes to knee problems, when we're talking about younger people, very rarely is it a basic knee problem. You know, with me, I tend to have some knee pains a lot, and I get these knee pains right above my knee, right in here or right on the side. I know with me, I can go in and dig in just below my knee on my calf. I can dig in and start massaging here. That knee pain tends to go away. I can start digging in here on the side looking for some pressure points, some trigger points, and release those, and magically my knee pain goes away. And one big magical thing that doctors never tell you to do, that your mom never tells you to do, is that when you have knee pain, go to the gym and squat. Most of the time, knee pain comes from everyday use. It comes from just the way you sit, the way you walk. You wear the exact same shoes every single day. You have a posture issue. You have a movement issue, a sleep issue, the way you sit. Could be a million things. But knee injuries, unless it was just a moment where you felt, you heard a pop, there was some kind of collision, there was a point of impact where there was an actual knee injury, the chances are really good that whatever kind of pain that you're having in your knee is a long-term thing. And you're not squatting all day, every day, so squatting probably is not the cause of your knee pain. It's probably just everyday average body movements. So Craig, you are 10 feet tall but not bulletproof. The first thing that we're going to have to do, instead of having you box squat to a at-depth box, we are going to raise your box up several inches. How many inches? Really don't care. You are not a power lifter. You are a strong man. It does not matter if you squat to depth or below depth. Nobody cares in strongman. In fact, rarely will you ever be below parallel. You don't even get below parallel when you are loading stones. Why is it necessary for you to be so far below parallel when you're squatting? Now, of course, ideally, your body should be able to go below parallel, but you don't have to under extreme pressure, especially if you're already having some kind of knee discomfort. So we're going to raise your box up a few inches, and we're going to widen your stance out. All the weight needs to be on your heels. There should be no quad involvement whatsoever. Everything has to be on the heels, on the hips, the butt, and the hamstring. See, I believe the chances are, if we can do that and get you into the gym, you could probably box squat as a warm-up almost every training session with 25–30% for multiple sets of 3, 4, 5, something like that. And you will probably be able to train that day without any kind of knee pain. And to be quite honest, if you did that consistently, you might actually get rid of your knee pain. So taking into account you've already seen a healthcare professional with tons of insurance, that way if you get hurt, their insurance will pay for the bad advice that they gave you, in contrast to the advice that I'm giving you. Well, you get what I mean. So I think you probably have some issues going on. You have some trigger points somewhere in your legs, and I believe if we can get rid of those trigger points, those pressure points, if we can get those leg muscles warmed up and moving correctly, we can at least minimize your knee pain. Now, because I've spent a lot of time determining the issues with my knees, sometimes I get knee pain on the outside of my knee. Most of the time, it's right here in the center. Again, if I can dig down through here, my calves, massage through here, release that, generally my knee pain goes away. Most of my knee pain comes from the way that I sleep or just the way that I sit while I'm working. Now, if you can excuse my chemo white legs here, they're almost see-through. What I will do is go up through the quad, down through the middle here, and I know for me, almost always, I will have some kind of trigger point along this line here in the quad, and I'm looking for a spot that hurts. And what I want to see, what I want to find is a spot that starts to tremble. I'm looking for something that will start to spasm, and I've got to roll around somewhere in here. I'm starting to feel it. I have already trained today, so my legs are pretty loose. I don't know if you can see that spasm. I am getting some spasms up here and down below. What I want to do is roll around and look for a spot where I'm having some pain and I'm going to get some kind of spasm. There we go. It's a nice little spasm going on there. See it below and above here. And I can actually feel that across my knee and through my hip, and it's spasming like crazy back through here. What we have is something that is extremely tight and is pulling on that knee, and I can actually feel my hip and my knee releasing right now. The pain and the pressure is starting to go away. I've already done this a couple of times today before I trained. I will just move down below it a little bit. I'm hoping you can see that. Now you're getting yours here along the inside of the teardrop there. There are a lot of stabilization things you could do as far as lunges, one-legged stuff, things of that nature. But what I want you to look for is any kind of trigger point that's going to run along that line. Somewhere I want you to find that insertion point of that teardrop and start here and work your way down. Now the muscle here is a little bit more difficult to get down to the bone. So actually I use this little thing here, and you can't feel it with your hands obviously, but you can feel it with your legs. And I just want to look for any kind of pressure points. Whoo, I rolled on something right there. I want you to look for any kind of pressure points that kind of hurt and dig that little knob into it just like it would be, just like you would your thumb. It's starting to spasm just a little bit up here at the top. Can roll down a little more. Getting some light spasms going on here. You want to look, you want to try and find a spot where you're getting some spasms and just hold that, hopefully until the spasms go away. But a good solid 30 to 60 seconds should be enough. I can feel that really going down through my knee, all the way down through my heel, my foot. Now these are the little things that may not make a difference right now, but it might prevent a long-term injury, an overuse injury, and it could prevent injuries long-term. Now, whether you want to say this is the key or not, if you're finding painful spots in your legs, the same way you would in your back, your hips, or anywhere else on your body, if you leave them there, those are injuries waiting to happen. So you always want to be looking for any kind of painful spots, knots, things like that that you can get rid of. See, I'm getting one right here. And you want to just spend some time working on it, trying to get rid of it. And this is stuff you can do while you're just sitting around the house, watching TV, just literally doing nothing. You can also do this before training. You can do this after training. I'm surprised I'm getting anything because I have trained today, even though my knee was a little sore before I came and trained. I actually use this. Like I said, I get a lot of my pains along the sides here. When I work at night and I'm sitting at my computer, I actually dig this in here. So these knobs just, they stick into my IT band, and I'm sitting here, and then I'm up here typing on my computer, and I can sit here. These hold my legs in together. It's extremely uncomfortable. So my hips aren't being worked to smash them out. And this is providing a little bit of pressure on the side. And obviously I can move this from side to side. I can get these where I want them, these points where I want them on the trigger points on the side of my IT band, massage those around. But this is a pretty much extremely valuable tool that I use nonstop. So Craig, there are a lot of things that could be going on with your knee. There are a lot of different things that you can do, a lot of different actions you can take towards fixing your knee. Of course, you need to go see a doctor, not just listen to some crazy bearded guy sitting in the squat rack. But you need to take my advice and be proactive as well. Little things like stop wearing your flat-soled shoes to do strongman events in and to overhead press in. You need to have a pair of gym shoes. You need to have at least 2 other pair of shoes that you wear throughout the day. Some kind of sport shoes, something that you can switch halfway through your day, provide some comfort on your feet. You're too tall and you weigh too much to be wearing crappy shoes all the time. Take some time and stretch. Stretch your quads, stretch your hamstrings. We're not trying to become a gymnast or a cheerleader here. We just want to provide some kind of stretching through that quad. If you're having pain in your knee, very rarely is that pain actually caused by the knee. It's caused by all the muscles, tendons, and ligaments that go all the way up the leg, behind the leg, and from the knee all the way down to the ground. So spend some time every single day for a long period of time assessing, trying different things, and trying to release all those trigger points from the bottom of your foot all the way up to your hip. So fixing your knee pain, well, that's a very multifaceted, difficult task that you have in front of you. But you really have a choice. You can either spend the time constantly assessing, manipulating, doing things, trying new things, trying to figure it out long term so that you can get yourself back into the gym and training like you want to be, or you can spend your time doing nothing so that you're going to spend the rest of your life doing nothing. The choice is yours. I say get to work so we can get to work.